Hello.
What up?
What's up?
We're
tired.
A little bit.
We've been busy.
Yeah, house stuff and everything. We lived here for a little over 2 years, and I have not got to the garage yet.
I just finished.
Which sucks because I actually have like work stuff in there that I can piddle with and all my little tools in there. And they ain't room for jack. But it's getting better. A little bit. Made a dent.
Well, so we said, come on, let's talk about something that I deal with all the time.
No. Something you have had
my entire life.
Your entire life that I deal with all the time.
And that's how we made it 25 years. I'm batshit crazy, just so y'all know. Mm-hmm. My actual diagnoses are I am bipolar, type 2. I suffer from crippling anxiety and depression. Other ways of exiting, I have to be careful with how I say that. But this is my true story.
It took me a second. I was like,
you have to be careful.
I understand.
Well,
I don't know. You're not done.
What are the other ones?
She's not like chronically OCD.
Oh,
but she definitely it definitely shines.
Yeah.
Okay.
About certain things, I will lose my shit.
I don't know if it's possible to be ADHD and ADD at the same time.
Pretty sure I am. Oh yeah, I have ADHD.
She definitely has ADHD.
Yes.
But there might just be a little bit of ADD too. I don't know if you can have both at the same time.
I don't know. They say I have all these initials. I have been told I have some kind of personality identity disorder or whatever.
I have always said, and she used to hate it when I say it, but then I would hear her that was the best way she could describe it. But I've always said that she has 8 personalities and only 7 of them love me. But that's just my observation.
But mental health runs in my entire family very strongly. But I have always been an advocate for mental health because I think that every single person deals with some kind of mental disorder. This is why we try to keep our mental health clear. And it's becoming such a huge problem now that we can't fix it anymore. So in the beginning, I was not on medication when I met him. I refused to be.
But also that first 6 months of the relationship, when your PR representative is putting on the best behavior and everything, she did a damn good job of hiding all the crazy.
That's right.
She would let a little bit out here and there, and I knew by the time we got married, I knew that she wasn't all put together.
All you had to do was meet my family.
but yeah, it just kept shining a little bit more every day. And by the time the third kid, that was it. It was full fledged.
Yeah. So how I've been in the beginning, where I was a little crazy, wasn't on medication when I met him, then just life and everything. I become severely overstimulated, and the older I get, it's getting worse. I go to the store and my anxiety is so bad, I'm sweating bullets. And it's crazy, it's embarrassing. And it's just really hard for me, not only dealing with it, well now I'm medicated. Non-narcotics, I just take what I know works, a happy pill, a bipolar pill, and my ADHD medicine, which is non-narcotic. And all the other medications are just basically for my bones. I'm old. But I've always wanted to ask him because he's always worried about all of us. Being an empath and being so close to somebody, it is really, really hard to hide things from somebody like me. And he's had a lot of tragedy and tragic losses that happen so fast that I honestly don't think that he's ever really had the chance to deal with. And our family has been doing a lot of changes, and a lot of these things are overstimulating for all of us at times. But this man works like crazy. He doesn't ever take time to really just like, hey, maybe I'm not feeling great today. So I've always wanted to know, and I've never asked him this, what mental disabilities or issues have you dealt with that I haven't been able to help you with? Because you're always worried about me. Who's worrying about you?
You're asking if I think, like, if I self-diagnose myself with some kind of disability?
Do you suffer, like, do you get into depression funks?
Yeah. I mean, there are times, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily depression. It's more like just
It's always harder
okay.
for
So
men to
there
discuss
are
this.
there are. I wish I remembered some of them off the top of my head, but there are different reels, and there are things that where people talk about men's mental health and stuff like that, and things that they go through. Dax,
Yes.
he does one song and everything, and about dads and other people, and some of them collaborate with other artists and everything about what men go through as far as like how we feel about stuff like that. So it's not so much of a depression. It's the fact that I feel like a failure in situations. So it's more like I'm upset with myself, not necessarily a depression. If that makes any sense.
Do you think that you would know what depression feels like? Because I think that it's really hard for men. Pride aside, this man is different, okay? He's not egotistical, it's not machismo, but men carry this pride where they feel that they can't express themselves.
It's not so much of a pride. It's a fact. Okay, so the way I look at it, and if you're teeter-tottering on a bad day, okay,
Happens often.
and I'm going through it, then my moment is going to bring you down.
That's what I want to talk about.
But that's how guys think, though. At least like for
But
my
that's not
experience.
fair.
But it may be so. But the thing is like okay. So one time my son he had some dark periods and he was going through some things and everything, and sometimes life was like overwhelming and this and that, and he felt like he wasn't good enough for certain things, and like I say, he's really come out of his shell, and he's really grown up to be
My gentle giant.
a well adjusted young man and everything. As well adjusted as you can be at 21, but
He's doing great.
he was going through some things, and I finally just like, okay, so I took him downstairs, and I made sure nobody was around so me and him could have a one-on-one conversation. And I let him know that, like, it's okay that you don't feel like you did good enough today, or it's okay if you felt like that. I said, because, and the way I explained it to him is, everything in this house is my responsibility. Everything
That's sad.
Everything from and like we're talking about from how y'all are doing today, how y'all feel today, is if like you want a hobby or if there's something that you want to do and I don't have we don't have the money and the finances for it. If my daughter's getting ready for prom and she makes money and we're helping out where we can and stuff like that, but if I don't have the money to give her the best prom that she wants, it's my fault. If we can't get a certain thing here, like then that's just financially, but it also goes as far as like if my kids got bad grades in school, it's because I wasn't on them enough about their homework, or if they're lashing out because maybe we were too strict on them. I mean, every single thing in this house I feel is my responsibility to make sure that it's taken care of. And if something isn't, then it's my fault. And it doesn't matter who, when, why, or how. My youngest daughter got into a wreck. In some ways, I feel like that's my fault because maybe when teaching her how to drive and everything like that.
I'm the CDL holder.
It doesn't matter.
I said it was my fault.
But because of your anxiety and y'all's tendency to bicker at one another, I drove the most. But maybe I didn't teach her enough about being defensive on the driving, about making sure that you're aware of every single person and what they're doing. before you pull off to do something and everything. So as far as
that's a lot of fault.
right, but the thing
we've
is,
never had this conversation.
But
by the way.
But the thing is that as far as if I'm having a bad day, I don't want my bad day to ruin y'all's, especially if.
But my bad days, their bad days ruin yours. So what?
That's fine.
That's not fine. That's not okay. It's not okay, guys. Y'all need to talk about your mental health with somebody because he didn't know I was going to ask this. I told him I was going to ask him a question, and we've never actually had this conversation. I didn't even know that he talked to our son like that. I've always been super open, and when I'm having really bad, crazy days, I mean, what was it, 2 weeks ago? I lost like 4 days of my life. Don't even know where it went.
That's cute. It was a week.
Oh, okay. So sometimes shit happens, but he's always here to pick up the pieces. And
quick follow up though. But when talking to our son about that, I honestly was a little scared to do it because I didn't want him at such a young age and already having issues and stuff. I didn't want him to be like, well, damn, it don't get no better, like. But
God, that's awful.
And it truly was. I mean, that's one of the thoughts that I was having. But it gave to him. I'm one of the strongest people. He's told me this. Okay, this is not me quoting. This is not me.
He is the strongest.
Shut up.
No, strongest person. Yes.
But this is what he told me. It's like me being one of the strongest people he knows. Admitting that I have bad days as well gave him peace of mind. So, like I said, I was worried about it. Like most guys are, because there was one time she has PTSD about certain things. About
I do. Oh, that's a big one.
Yes, about
big trauma.
About the way she grew up and certain things like that. Even with me disciplining the kids, if I raise my voice too loud or whatever, the hell it starts bothering her. For me. She knows I would never in a million years hit her unless it was self-defense, and. But still, when I raise my voice and everything, like it still bothers her, and so
when any male raises their voice, I have severe PTSD, but as I get older, the triggers are, for whatever reason, are becoming more sensitive. But
I can't remember what I was getting at. We went down
he said you were the
no. Yes. But there was one time I don't have a lot of trauma that she had growing up. Okay, my family, like I've said before, was just broke, but we loved each other. We as far as every boy, toddler and youngster and whatever boy has ADD. Okay, we're all bouncing around like squirrels, just looking,
trying to get a nut.
What's that over there? Not at that age, no. And my dad had a really good remedy for that. It was like, so I was like, yes, sir. I mean, it was a nice little readjustment.
And I grew up with go get the switch.
Yeah. Well, no, there was also the neck pick.
Oh.
Anywho,
my mother.
I didn't have anything growing up like that. Like I said, we were broke. So my closest thing to a thing in PTSD is about being broke. That's one of the reasons why I like finances to be in order. I want to make sure we have money. I don't mind doing certain things at a low standard, as to make sure that we have money for future, for if problems or anything, emergencies that occur. Because I hate borrowing money. So I remember one time, me and her had a conversation, and I told her, like, look, I said, I really want to get the finances in order. I said, and I told her that just like I said, only thing I got PTSD is growing up is broke, okay, and it bothers me to hell that I'm in my 40s and we're still broke every day. Can we please? And I had like a little moment where I kind of just opened up to her about that. Flash forward like a week later, she was having one of her moments where she wasn't all that lucid and like just kind of that. And she somehow, or I don't remember exactly how she worded or whatever, and he gonna talk about it, like gives me some fucking sob story about him having PTSD because he was broke.
I said that?
You did.
Oh my God.
And
I'm so sorry.
And she apologized for it like 2 days later. Or like,
I literally have
We were
No,
talking about it
no
was like
recollection.
3 days later. We were talking about finance, like do whatever the fuck you want to do. And I just like she's like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I told her like, look, after me opening up and you telling me that, she's like, oh my god, like so we've actually had that conversation before, and she apologized for it and everything. So like I said, when every time a man opens up, it always feels like it's going to be weaponized against us later. And if we're not 100% strong backbone, glue for family, do not break for nothing, then all of a sudden, then like it's like, oh, so yeah, you won't believe what he's fucking going through. I mean, and so a lot of guys just talk. Like I said, there's a lot of reels about men's mental health, and like I said, that one song and everything like that. And if you listen to them, they're pretty spot on. I mean, like we are the enemy until we're the hero. And we are strong until we show any weakness. And
That's sad. That is very sad.
are you happy?
I am happy,
Then
but
I don't care.
see, we have to have a balance, babe. We're rocking 25 years. The
You
kids
stay
are grown.
happy, I'll be fine.
Okay, happy wife, happy life, all for it. But, all for it. When I take my medicine. All for everything then. But this has been something that's been on my mind for years. Years. Specifically because of him losing a parent so tragically. A few years later, I lost my dad very tragically in my home. And I know what I went through that day. And our son is the one who found him first. And then our youngest was there, and he was working in College Station. I was by myself.
It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
It was insane. So to this day, I can choke up just thinking about it. And I was with him when we went to the hospital and saw his mom. And I don't know, I don't feel that you've ever really processed that.
Yeah, so I understand. You've told me that before. I understand.
Keep talking. I gotta go get the cornbread. Keep talking.
About what?
You and your mental health.
We already talked about it. I'm done.
Well, keep going. These are things I've been wanting to know.
Okay. Help me, she's crazy. No,
Don't just sit there.
I'm not. Wow, camera's all on me. This is weird. And the main reason for us having this episode was to talk about dealing with people who have multiple initials behind their names that are not like professional.
Yep, that's fun. How do you deal with me when I'm crazy?
Moment by moment. I'll tell you what though, cell phones were not always. We've been married 24, together 25. Cell phones were not always the norm. So I might have one when I'm at work, but like she would have a home phone. But even then, like there was times where
lines. That's ancient.
yeah, there was sometimes I didn't have a cell phone, and so I didn't know what the hell I was coming home to. So like, hey babe, how are you doing today? How's everything going? Oh, you're in a bad mood. I had no clue.
There was plenty of times. There was a couple of times I had to lock myself away from my kids because I had taken one of his mom's medications, and she was on Prozac, and I was on Lexapro, and I was out. And she gave me one of her Prozacs, and I didn't think anything of it. I found out really quick I am not supposed to be taking Prozac. There's been really, really bad days. I was also very, very sick at this time. And I would just go insane and bash my head into mirrors and break shit. And our kids were a lot younger then.
And don't get me wrong, she is 31 flavors of crazy, but she has never been violent towards me and the kids. Okay? Like she's had like aggressive spells, but like,
I will
she's not
weaponize
like
you. I'll cut you with my tongue.
Yeah.
That is what I do.
Now she is really good about clearing off a dresser.
Yes.
And we've had a couple of mirrors that didn't make the argument. But you know, I mean, other than that, like there was one time it was a snow globe, and it was a pretty good size one, man. And I was actually impressed at the distance. took us forever to clean it all up. But I mean, so as far as like going through it, though, she's never been violent towards us. Okay, so that's a good thing.
And I can say I am a very aggressive person.
Yes,
I always have been.
Yeah.
And when I became a mom so young, there's something like I was aggressive to begin with because I was bullied, like torturously bullied. I had so much hate for people that whenever I got out and got away from those people, when you become a mom or maybe even a dad, that whole mama bear thing, that is real. But when you are already working with a chemical imbalance, that can get really fucking crazy.
Well,
I have followed people.
It was well, yes.
I have followed people to their homes. Yes. I've thrown stuff at people at cars. I was road raging before that.
Also, the way she was raised is that admitting you're wrong is weakness.
Facts.
Even an argument is war. You don't back down. My dad raised us never go to bed angry. Handle all your shit. Get it hashed out so tomorrow is a new day and you're not lingering it over and like you're just spreading out the madness.
What did we do now?
Oh, I don't know. That one I'm actually confused about. We got another violation.
I don't know what we said, but this is real talk. And I still am a citizen and this is my First Amendment right. So if you don't like what we're saying, go away. This is real shit.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. Anyhow, so the way she was raised, everything was war, everything was argumentative, like this and that. It was battle. So my dad raised us not to go to bed angry, yada yada yada. And so I'm like hashing this out. Like, okay, no. Hold on a second. Don't storm off to your room. Let's get this taken care of. So for the first 3 years of our relationship, there were some very long nights until I finally like grasp the concept, like, hold on a second, she's not gonna admit she's wrong. And like there was one like I would say something, I'm like, babe, you've done that before. She's like, when? Dates and times.
Where's the receipts?
I don't whatever. I'm like, I don't have a journal. I didn't write down today she did this. I mean, and there was one time I did remember, and she's like, so what, you just store this stuff in the back of your mind to throw it in my face one day? I'm like, holy hell. And I finally figured it out that it's like court. Okay, you gotta plead your case, show the evidence, give your final statement, and then just let the jury make their decision. And then if she comes back and she's still angry and mad, then she still thinks she's right and whatever. And if she just changes the subject and acts like nothing ever happened, then I won. And so the silence was the victory, and I had to accept this. I mean, there was one time we got into a full-blown argument. We're yelling and screaming. And then I
haven't had many of those.
Oh, this was back in those.
Oh, it's like, we don't argue like that.
Not anymore. But I can't remember what the argument was about. All I remember is that she said something. I was like, no. It was last Tuesday. We were doing this. I was like, you were that, and you said ha. And I'm just like, got you. 1-2 knockout punch. And she stops.
I don't remember.
And she stops. And she goes to the right. And she's hitting that memorial cortex of the brain and everything. And she's all like, huh. Turns, starts walking away. It's like, so what do you want for dinner? I was thinking like, no. I'm like, oh, hell no. No, get back here. Say you were right. Say you were wrong. Say you were. I'm like, it was bad.
I grew up in a machismo family.
Yes. And so she will not admit she's wrong. Okay, like, okay, I'm sorry.
I do now.
She didn't used to. Over the last 5 years, she's really came around on a lot of different things and gotten a lot better. We still have, there's still tough days here or there. But they're fewer and further in between. So
what would you say as a father dealing with a wife, a mother who's, our kids have come to me and they do have trauma bonds from me. Not me being aggressive. The same way that I have PTSD around people that are unpredictable, men who are unpredictable, scare the shit out of me. It makes me feel 4 years old and I need to get a broom and it just like takes me back. And my kids have all expressed to me that they have those feelings like when I raise my voice. And so he always gets stuck in the middle, especially with our youngest. She couldn't be more similar to, I mean, we're identical. She's beautiful though. We're identical, so we fight constantly. Not so much anymore that she got a car, but
them two sharing a vehicle was horrible. Just horrible.
But
horrible.
She's like him in the way that if I say, because I've gone through therapy, like I said, I've been working on myself. So I have coping skills. She asked me to go to a mental institution. I did. And I still went to therapy.
A psychiatric resort.
Yes. I wouldn't call it a resort.
Well, I don't know what we're allowed to say these days. I don't want to get another bite.
Okay, well, I went, and you can look it up.
It's not public.
I don't give a crap. I'm sick and tired of people telling us.
Okay. Come on, go ahead. Rather than be.
Yeah, but when I started understanding what they were feeling, because I feel that same way, it broke my fucking soul. Broke my soul. And so I had to change, because my kids, I want grandkids one day. Like, if I'm this crazy batshit woman, are they going to let me see my grandkids? Like, I had to make decisions better for myself.
You said there was a question for me.
Yes. So, I'm getting there. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't know if you were going off the rails again.
No. I took my medicine.
Wait, carry on.
Yes. So, I have done this to our children. And now, with our youngest, definitely, he has lost his shit so much.
Okay. Sidebar, they've been after me for a while to just start a YouTube channel, just saying random shit, especially when I'm frustrated. Apparently my sarcasm is on point. I honestly just want to do I want to buy a referee costume. And just as soon as I come home, I'll get in my costume, because you don't know when it's going to pop off. And just the whole thing is just like, I'm not going to do that. It's just going to be like filming me in my referee costume. And I'm just going to be walking there blowing the whistle.
Because I will walk away. I will say.
Throwing flags, like, hold on, piddling.
I will tell her.
I swear, that's what I feel like when they're like, what?
I'm going to my room.
But,
I need to step away from
the referee. In the blue corner.
We need the referee, because she charges after me. She doesn't let it go like him. And it pisses me off. I'm like, let me have my...
There are times where I told her, girl, you just leave her alone. This would all go away. She's like, no, this isn't right. This isn't... She needs to understand. She's wrong. And I'm like, I know she's wrong. You know she's wrong. She knows she's wrong.
I know I'm wrong. But I'm the mom.
Okay,
get out of my room. So I've always wanted to know.
Okay.
You have stated you feel all these failures.
Yes.
How does that transition when you're looking at me as I'm hurting our children? We've never discussed it.
So I know so in most situations, I know how to handle you as far as what you need to calm down or what needs to be done to resolve or what needs to, but the thing is that the kids don't, they haven't dealt with the 12-step program of them dealing with you and all that stuff.
No, we're not playing ball.
And so there are some times where the kids are coming at you in a way that I know that you're not going to react well to, but at the same time, they're your kids, and I would hope that it would be a little different, but to you, it's like I said, an argument is combat. Like, it doesn't matter who it's with. So there are times with it feels like a failure to me because I can't diffuse the situation. I can't explain to them why you're acting the way you're acting, and I can't express to you like what you're saying and how you feel like, hey, calm down for a second. And as a parent, your kids always come first. Their livelihood, their mental health, and everything like that. But the problem I have is that even my kids have admitted to me that times they think that I chose her side over them, and it breaks my heart. It truly does.
That I've never heard that. That makes me want to cry.
Yeah, that too. It sucks because in the moment you're trying to diffuse the situation, and even though that they have they've pled their case and everything, and if they would just back off, then like she would come, like she would snap to, she would calm down, the adrenaline would cease from her system, and she would admit that she was wrong. But the kids want that instantaneous, like, hey, this is bullshit. What's going on? Why not? And they're not getting that. And so on one hand, I know they would get it if they just back off. And on the other hand, like, hey, can't you just tell them right now, just like suck it up and just say it. And I have to be careful because if I come at her sideways, then I become another
target.
I become another. We're ganging up on her all of a sudden, and she'll get volatile as far as argument wise towards me, and like all of a sudden, I'm not helping the situation. I'm just making it worse. And so me trying to navigate around that to get the kids to hear what they want to hear to make them feel validated in the situation and to give her the space to calm down so that she can understand what's going on. Because it's not even the fact that she won't admit that she's wrong. It's that her mind won't let her calm down until
I have to have my space.
Kind of like they say with adrenaline and stuff like that. You're like you don't feel the effects until later. Car crashes, something like that. Like some people get shot, and in the midst of the moment, like their adrenaline's pumping, they don't even notice. And that's like that. Her mind and her adrenaline and everything is just pumping, and on all cylinders and everything. Because to her, it's aggressive. There's a combat situation. Like I have to verbally fight my way out of this one. And it's not until later when she calms down and like she replays it in her head, she's like, "Oh shit!" And so with the kids and everything, like I said, I feel like I failed in de-escalating the system.
So when are you proud of yourself?
When y'all are happy, and when plans work out, and when people get what they want, and stuff like that.
But you need to be important too. You're holding the weight of everybody and everything.
Yes. And
you're afraid to fall and crack because you can't live like that.
But if I crack, then who's going to be there for y'all?
Me. And we can pick you up. This has been on my mind for so long.
No. Picking me up is fine. Picking me up isn't the problem. The problem is that if I'm out of commission, then who's going to be there for y'all?
I'm quite capable of doing things.
You're one of the people that needs to
Right now, I'm doing all right. But when I know that I have to be on point, like when I work, holy shit, I can move mountains. But I will admit. And he's told me this, and I'm going to admit it now. Yes, I do things around the house. I'm here, I'm disabled, whatever. But once he's home, I ask him to bring me everything. Mm-hmm. And he's been working all day long. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, you're home. Great. Now I can turn off and go do whatever the hell I'm going to do. And that's another thing. I'm like, there's no pushback.
There's no pushback?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make sarcastic remarks here or there, and I'll say stuff, but you're just like, and go to the room. Answer a question. Are you going to accept the answer no?
Yeah. Hey, you called me the other day talking about you left your laptop or your thing, and I was like, you were like, oh, you bring it?
And I'm not lying to you. Yes. No shit. I did not think you were going to say yes.
Why wouldn't I? What else am I doing?
I'm just sitting there at work scrolling. Because she don't, she got thumbs of fury. Don't get me wrong. Her and my daughters, they will. But she will also just abuse the hell out of Siri. She'll just push that button. And she will just go at it. And the thing is she doesn't proofread it either. And so there'll be times when she'll be talking, that ADHD will kick in, and she'll be like, so I was thinking about tomorrow, maybe we can have the meatloaf. You know what? No, I really have been craving those little burgers and stuff. But then again, I'll always love lasagna or spaghetti. And but you know what? Never mind. No, I really am going to do the meatloaf. She would have this whole conversation, and I'm either at work or driving.
And then he'll come home and I'll have like a turkey leg or something.
it really. The one guy, I felt like I was a part of a group because one guy was like, we were at a foreman's meeting and the general contractor asked like, well, like, you don't read books? And they pointed to one guy and the guy's like, the only books I read are when my wife texts me. I was like, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. But the thing was, is like I said, she also doesn't proofread. So it's like, and I think we should grab the grasshopper and make sure that we cook it before tomorrow. The what? I don't know what she's talking about. And there was one time they messed up her meds, and she wasn't lucid.
No.
Okay, she had good days and bad days, and so I was getting some jumbled up ass texts.
My kids were even like, okay.
And then on top of that, there was no proofreading either. So I'm all like, is she off again, or did she just proofread this? And I'm all like,
hey,
YouTube, please.
We have a 3-legged Chihuahua and a big German Shepherd. He's bullying her treats. Look, he pushed her out.
Hold on a second. She's always been a bitch to him. He was a wee little puppy. Bitch.
Mental health.
Big ass dog. Bitch.
Mental health.
What?
We're talking about our dogs.
They're being loud. I mean, they can hear them. It's not like we're not up to studio par yet where we can soundproof and what's up. Anyway.
So, how have you managed? What do you tell yourself? Because I think that you have to be some kind of mad to still be here. Like, you have to have some kind of insanity to deal with somebody like me. You never know who you're going to get. I am getting much, much better. But I have to take my medicine into my own hands.
I've never been tested.
That's the point.
What? I had one guy I work with. So I go on spelts and I'll work. I'll start talking in voices, accents. I'll start singing songs. I don't give a damn. Okay? Damn straight. I did it one time in the shower when we first started dating and she thought it was hilarious.
Hilarious.
But I had this one guy, he just stopped and just looked at me. He's like, are you okay? I said, what are you talking about? He's like, upstairs, are you okay? Do you have something wrong with you? And I told him, like, look, I've been married for a while and I got 3 kids. And my wife is certified by the state, graduated top of her class, gold seal of approval. And so I always felt that if the law or the courts or anything ever had to get involved, it would be better for my family if both of us weren't certified. So I've never been tested. And he just kind of had a puzzling look on his face. He's all like, are you joking? Are you serious? And I'm just like, so I think we should move this hanger over. I just changed the subject and it's not. So, I mean, but apart, it was a joke, but apart, I mean, like, I've never been tested. I've never sat down with a therapist.
And that's what
I've never had the Rorschach test. And so if you're in a field and you see a rainbow, like, I've never been asked the silly psychological questions that are supposed to break down your psyche and let you know.
When they asked me about those stupid Rorschach, I said, I see ink, bitch. It's fucking ink on a paper. That's how I used to see it.
I mean,
I'd be like, I'm such a smartass. You put a paper in front of me, it's all blobs.
And even then, I mean, who's to say I'm even answering those questions honestly?
That's bad.
I mean,
that is a huge problem.
I mean, like, you know, like,
huge problem.
It's like, what do you see? I see a rabbit being decapitated. You know, I don't know what I'll see.
Yeah,
but the thing is, like, no, technically, no. I didn't, no, anyway. But, yeah, I mean, so, like, who knows, like, what really goes on in my head? I mean, hell, I'm not.
I think I need to know.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question.
You have to have, like, whenever I'm trying to step away from our daughter, and I have my coping skills and my meditations, and I have this whole thing that I go through.
Mm-hmm.
What's that for you?
My coping skills?
Let me tell you. Okay, I don't know how long. Well, I started seeing them here. So there's these things. My husband does not drink. Our entire life, he's never drank.
Okay.
Hold on. All of a sudden, I'm in the restroom and I look over and I saw one can. It's this thing called a clubtail. And I was like, what the hell is that? And then next day, by the time I saw 3, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And that scared the crap out of me because I'm like, I feel that I know something's going on.
Okay, so for the record, if I got stipulations,
What's
okay?
in your pocket?
Keys,
It stabbed me.
a knife.
Sorry, I would have. Don't say that.
Navajo?
See,
Right. I have stipulations. I don't drink and drive. I will not. I refuse to.
awful.
I don't like drinking if I got to work the next day. And I don't like drinking when the kids are around, okay? There was one time I had a little bit of little bitty little bottles or whatever the hell, and I was just cooking dinner. Didn't have nothing to go in there. It was like a Saturday, cool. And my little girl turned that thing into a TED Talk.
Yep.
She walks up straight to me, Dad, what's wrong? I'm like, holy shit. Like, nothing. Just cooking dinner. No. I know something's wrong. No.
She's empathic too.
Everything's fine. And then she's like, Dad, you've been drinking. Something's wrong. You never drink. I'm like, holy hell. I'm like, she was killing my buzz. And and then the financial things comes into work because that's a waste of alcohol. So I'm like, you know what? No, you're right. I shouldn't be drinking right now. I'm not going to drink. So, but if all parameters were met and everything, I have no problem partaking. But as far as needing to, like, oh man, I just gotta cut loose. No, I'm atmospheric. If everybody
skirting over the. Why did you?
I have to explain why you think I didn't in the first place.
Yeah.
If everybody's in a good mood, if everybody's vibing and having a great time, I'm good. I don't have to drink in order to have a good time. Now, as I'm getting older, body no like you. Okay, body getting very mad. Okay, I tell everybody, like, when you're in your in your 20s and stuff like that, maybe like you and your body, your teens, you and your body don't talk. You do whatever you want to do when you want to do it, and your body's just like, cool, let's do this. As you get a little older into your 30s and stuff like that, you your body start arguing a little bit. It's like, hey, I want to do this. Your body's like, nah, I don't want to do that, and everything, and like, oh, my knee. You're like, I told you I didn't want to do that. And then as you get in your 40s and everything, your body just stops listening. Okay, your body's just like, no, and just like, no. Oh shit,
it's fine.
I'll fix it later. Anywho, so I've had back injuries, shoulder, knee, stuff like that, neck. Anywho, body breaking down. So I used to just be able to go to the doctor when I have a problem. And she introduced me to the chiropractor thing. I thought that was complete witchcraft. Like, it's not nobody going to pop my back and then all of a sudden, oh, I feel great.
I love
that's a whole other story for another time. Funny story. But I used to get my muscle relaxers and my pain relievers. And like when I was having I could make one prescription last like 6 months because it was only for when I was having a bad day. Hot shower and everything, therapeutic. There's like icy hot, the spray or the biofreeze. We've done them all. And it got to the point where because of the drug, restrictions and stuff like that with all of the pharmacists and the medication and the narcotics and everything, they treat everybody like a drug addict now.
That's facts.
And so I remember the first time I went back to the doctor, like, yeah, well, my back's kind of spasming up. Well, normally just give me some the pain relaxers and the pain relievers and the muscle relaxers, and I go about my way and everything, and I'll see you in like a year. And I can give you the muscle relaxers, but I don't know about the pain relievers. And I don't know about you, but when you have to jump through the hoops, they wanted me to go see a pain management and this and that, and do the physical therapy and this and that.
No,
I mean, that's copay after copay and like time and like I got things to do. I got I'm working, and on top of that, coming home and helping out with the house and everything. I just don't have time and the money for all the copays and stuff like that. So I tried, one little drink at night and everything, and it would help. I would just about an hour before it would have been.
It's seltzers, okay? It's seltzers.
Yeah.
It's not like these.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 10% little thing, and then that's it. I mean, and I don't do it like I'm in my work clothes until like 8:30, and I take a shower, and an hour before my bed, I drink the drink, go to sleep. That's it. So her seeing the cans and like all of a sudden becoming more of a regular thing, it was a little like, hey.
It was like
the funny thing was it felt hypocritical as all hell because like, but even then, like when my daughter was giving me the TED talk and everything, my wife, like she was a wine sommelier, so she's literally certified. The man,
you don't lose it.
The man, whatever. But she would come home, and the thing is, I don't like most alcohols. I don't like. I can't stand beer. I've tried them all. I'm sorry. I wish I can't. I just don't like beer. And they're like, it's an acquired taste. How do you get acquired to that shit? I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. But everybody's got their own thing. That's cool. That's right. Mixed drinks, I'm not a big fan of. I have a few that I can tolerate. We'll go about that. So if I was going to drink, I would do like shots, and that would be it. So over the years, I've never really dabbled, with, the thing. But she can walk around with a bottle of wine tipped upside down, laughing at a show, and nobody thought anything of it. And then she's like, here, what do you taste?
And I'm a wine sommelier, like certified. I can tell you where it was, the soil,
like, can you taste the oak of the barrel?
The
like,
salinity.
No, I don't taste that. It tastes bitter ass. Okay? And like everybody's got their own, and if you like wine, that's great for you. For me, it does not do the trick. Okay?
Do you think that if you would have you ever thought about dealing, like most men wouldn't stay with somebody like me? Never. It's like living with 8 different people. And then when my brother comes home, he's just like me. He's worse. He's schizophrenic. And he scares the shit out of me because he reminds me of our father. And my father never did anything to me, but yeah. Anyways, another story for another day. But have you ever thought about just saying fuck it and just go and live a happy life? Like, I mean, not just now, but like going back, I met you when you were 19.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad married his mom when he was 18.
Mm-hmm.
So long-term relationships as far as your family goes, but has anyone ever asked your dad how he feels too? I talk about mental health all the time, but men's mental health is really... You
just asked like 3 questions and
yes.
then just went on a speech. Like,
yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Okay. So there's layers to that one. First of all, I am very committed in what I do in life. If I say I'm going to do something, I honor my word.
That's
okay. I don't make a promise unless I know I can keep it, and I made a vow to you. Okay. First of all, through sickness and in health.
I can't. I have a fucking battery pack on my spine.
If this bitch was a car, the lemon law would have been thrown into effect a long fucking time ago.
Literally,
okay?
I have a stimulator battery pack that operates my spine.
That operates.
For pain control.
Okay. Through sickness and in health. Okay. I can't sit there and be like, man, this bitch is sick again.
I'm sick all the time.
Man, I gotta get out of this. I can't deal with this shit no more. And like let's just like leave her because she's sick.
Most men would.
I don't care. I love you.
I love you.
You are the love of my life. And I could not look at myself in the mirror and make that commitment to you and state that you're the woman that I love and you're the love of my life. And then just like, yeah, that's the 13th time we've been at the hospital this year. I'm out. I mean, that's bullshit. So on that same aspect, you being a little thrown off in the head, you try to make adjustments. You see the problem and you're trying to solve it. Okay? And over the last 25 years, you have gotten better.
I hope so.
Okay? You have made progress. Okay? And in progress in life is all I can ask for. One step. And there are some little stumbles here and there when we go back a little bit. But you do your best to... Now, as far as with the kids and stuff like that, I have weighed the thought if I took the kids away from you, first of all, that would throw you down a spiral.
That's it.
And
but I would understand why later.
You get later.
Much
So after
later.
you do something to get incarcerated,
Yep.
or go on the darker end of things,
Yep.
I would feel responsible because I did something to you instead of standing by you that led to that.
When
And once again, that to make my life easier. Now I understand as far as the kids go, taking them out of a situation like that, but on that end as well, having the kids separated from their mother, because however much y'all bicker and however much y'all fight, you and that little girl, the youngest, y'all are thick as thieves.
We are.
Y'all will be sitting there. Oh my God, you don't understand. You're not gonna talk to me like that. Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
hey, we'll go to mom.
And then yes, the next day, hey, what are y'all doing? Oh man, we're at Starbucks and we're gonna go get our nails done. We're gonna get our feet done. It's gonna be a great day. And it's like, what the hell? It's like they're both sitting there bipolar, flipping that coin, and it's like heads, tails, tails, heads, heads, tails, tails, heads, tails, heads, both heads. Awesome day. I mean, it's just...
And it scares the shit out of me that my mental health has affected my kids and their mental health.
But then my kids growing up in a broken home, however much the norm it is these days.
I prayed for my mom to take us away.
Right.
I wanted to get away from my dad.
Yes, but I will say, babe, however much you are like your dad in many, many, many ways, you are nowhere near the intensity and violence and verbal abuse and manipulation. Okay? Like, you are nowhere near that.
Well, I just know how I felt as a kid.
I understand
and
that.
that's why
Well,
it's the biggest thing I can't forgive my mom
for. But the problem is that, like everything else in life, your problems are your problems, my problems are my problems.
I don't think that's fair.
No. But what I'm saying is that, like, if you're talking to somebody, okay, like, okay, for instance, I'll be talking to people at work, and they'll be telling me about their crazy ass wife. And I'm like, oh.
You're going to do that one all the time.
Oh, that's it? Oh.
No.
You know, and so I'm like, but I'm not sitting there like, oh, dude, you ain't got shit on me. No, I'm like, shit, dude, that sucks. I understand. And I'm like, and I'll tell them, I'm not trying to one up you. I'm just letting you know that I understand. Yeah. I'll explain a similar situation that we've been through. And however much ours might be a little one level up from theirs, I'm not, like I said, not trying to boast or, be like, oh, you ain't got shit to worry about. That's all you dealing with? Go home. You happy, bro. I mean, like, no.
And I had to learn how to be, my kids told me I was narcissistic as well.
But my point,
I was always a one-upper.
Right. And my point is, though, is that even though you felt that way with your mom and that intensity, even though your intensity is not what his was, your kids are still dealing with some form of it.
Yes.
So I can understand why you would think that. But like I said, I do look at everything logically. I try not to let emotions dictate my life as far as like my reaction to things. So I don't fly off the handle about stuff. And I try to really look at her or the kids or why they think a certain way or why they're acting a certain way about certain things before I approach it. And because I want to make sure that I make the right call and I don't just yell and scream at somebody because I think it's bullshit. And with the way you act and the way you do things and stuff, I logically like, okay, this is what happened. Okay, it probably triggered this. And this is messing with that. She saw that messed with that OCD and this and that. So I really look at it logically and break it down like that. But as far as...
Sounds like a lot of work. So there has to be some kind of darkness in here.
Well, then you're going back 3 topics. Okay, if you want to answer the question at hand.
No. As
far as like why I didn't just up and leave and everything, first of all, that would have been me quitting and being like, nope, this is that's
my dad said he couldn't bring me back.
You tried to go back once, and that's when that brought up.
He said, "Don't bring her back."
Yeah, like instead of the father, the son-in-law, like, all right, this is my baby girl, take good care of it. No, this fool literally sipping a beer at our wedding. All right, she's yours. Don't bring her back.
Don't bring her
I thought it was a funny ha-ha, like he's just being silly. No.
No,
Let's see, Corey was a baby. I don't know about.
no names.
That's a nickname. Um, that could be Courtney. That could be.
Oh shit! You
anywho,
just carry on. Our youngest child.
Anywho, so she was having a moment and this and that, and she wanted to go to Louisiana for the summer to try something, and this and that, and we were at her dad's house. And I was basically going to be dropping her off. It was like we were going down there for the weekend barbecue, stuff like that, and only me and the kids were going to be coming back. And he was just drinking. No, you didn't. He was drinking, and he looked at me, and he's all like I said, it's like 10 years later. Thought I told you not to bring her back. I'm like, holy shit, he was serious about that? But by the end of the day, he ended up saying stupid shit, and him and her mom caused a ruckus, and she was like, you know what, I can't do this shit. Let's go home. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask for an apology or anything like that.
I love my dad. I miss my dad every freaking day. But I would be stone cold lying if I said there is a lot less. I'm
drama.
More at peace. Yes, there's less drama. Much less.
Yes.
He was a very complicated man, for sure. All of them in my family are.
Yes. As far as the darkness in my head, I've got years of structure. If there was darkness in my head, it was there before you.
Why would you say that?
Because there's darkness in my head, it was there before you. My structure is my life. Okay, my structure is my psychosis.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why I want to do things a certain way. I want to do things now. Now, I'm not OCD about it. I have fluctuations. There are give and takes and stuff like that. But it's one of the reasons why I won't drink and drive. It's one of the reasons why I won't partake in certain situations. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I will not do hallucinogenics. Because
we grow up completely.
You understand, I have never hauled off and hit anybody in my life. I am not a violent person, but I do get mad just the same. And there are a lot of situations that I have always approached logically because I will not let emotions dictate my outcome.
Don't you think you would want to go to like Burning Man though, and like just be at one in California with the desert and the music and just kind of let yourself go? You never let yourself go. Ever. I live by my music. MGK 24/7, except for 3.5 hours a night when I watch Taylor Swift. But you don't ever just let yourself go outside and dance or do something. Like, you don't ever just feel like if there was a legal, I've said, way, and you were in a safe space with safe people, I obviously would not let you trip balls with randoms. I think it would actually take away a lot of that darkness. Mm-hmm. I think that you would probably have the most fun you've ever had in your life because you will not be able to control all of these things that you're always trying to hold and not fall. Your body would actually just be
I don't need
relaxed.
I don't need 3 days.
No, I'm not saying go out there for 3 days.
You go all the way the hell out there, it better be 3 days. I
love California, by the way.
I've never been. I don't need long exterior periods, moments of relief.
How do you know? Have you ever experienced euphoria? Nope. So you don't know. Euphoria.
Even then.
Not the show, guys.
No. But.
It's a state of mind where.
Yes, I understand that, but.
Like for me, I have to control everything in my life. Mm-hmm. Literally, I control the neighbors.
Okay, but here's my thought on that. If you have to use accessories to achieve euphoria, then it's not euphoria.
I don't agree with that.
Well, I understand that's fine.
There's not a human
but that's
way
to me.
to. Oh, well.
Okay, so music. Love music. Love concerts. Going to a concert is awesome. Okay.
Pretty sure I was born in a mosh pit.
Okay. It is. It is a very nice relief, especially the music. My playlist is ADD as all hell. Okay, even my favorite band is Stain, and they'll go up, they'll go down. I mean, they're all over the place sometimes, especially from different albums and this and that. But my playlist will range anywhere from Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch, Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails, Stain, Linkin Park, Three Doors Down, 3 Days Grace, and then it will branch into. There might be some old.
I have country.
It might have like 90s, early 2000 countries, but not before that. Definitely not after. Old school rap, hip hop, and then there might be some old school R&B on there. Brian McKnight, Boyz II Men. As yet, some old.
I'm not hearing any Euphoria.
But the thing is that with me, my music, Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars. I mean, with me, each song is a relief. Each song is a release. Each song is therapeutic, and so I don't need them to all be in one segment unless I'm just really in one of those moods. But I will drive home and have my playlist going. And on that playlist, it is a moment for me to tap into each song, to each emotion, and to release. And movies. To you, a movie is just a series of stories and actors and their. To me, it is an engulfment. It is an audio and visual cinematic.
Yeah, we don't
relief.
Watch TV together unless it's something that.
We do watch movies and TV together. Most of the time, it's her time. We've talked about this on another show. But it's the timing, okay? Like, she's either, like, getting ready to go to bed, medicine, this and that. She's not going to have the attention span for a whole movie or show. And by the time I get home, I've missed all the good hours where she was productive. And so, but with me, a movie is a moment where I engulf in the storyline. I see through the eyes of the characters. I live there. It's a relief for me. It's a release other than that. So that's one of the reasons.
So tripping balls in the desert is the same as you watching a movie?
Yes, and it's a shorter and less time-consuming and cheaper option.
I don't have her
but that's also one of the reasons why y'all like with you not wanting to get up and get your own shit. I'll be sitting there in the movie line and engulf the movie and one I've never seen before. Oh,
that's why I text.
Sometimes. And the bad thing is when she yells, it's worse because she's got 3 fans.
4.
There's a 4th?
There's one by the TV now, too.
Oh, they're the little one. Okay, yeah. So sometimes she's got all 4 fans going and she's sitting there in this wind tunnel and she knows how loud that she's being and that I can hear her. And I'll be like, and sometimes it's just a yes or no question. Did you remember to switch the clothes over? Yes. What? Yes. What? And now the kids are listening to us have this conversation back and forth. And like, sometimes I'll get the text. And sometimes it's a 1 or 2 line, like, all right, cool, yep, answer, put it down. Okay. And then sometimes it's a book. And I'm just like that. And sometimes you do the voice text, like the actual like audio text. And then sometimes it's a phone call.
Oh. You can still talk.
Okay. No, I know, but I see the puzzle piece. I'm like, what? What'd you do?
I did it wrong.
You're a bot.
That's what they think.
Stop. You're a bot.
I know.
Anyway.
That's what they think.
So I don't need a long, grandioso thing to have a euphoric moment. And sometimes just having my drink or 2 before I go to bed, just that last little 30 minutes, 45 minutes before I nod off to just decompress. That's enough for me. I mean, the funny thing is, but yeah, that's to answer your question. That's enough for me. I don't need just let it all out.
I like to go dancing. Oh, I haven't gone in years, but my social anxiety has gotten real bad. But this conversation is gonna have to go on to next week too, because there's more.
Oh well, yeah. Well, that's just dealing with your anger and depression.
That's just dealing with that part.
Yeah, that even started with the OCD and the ADHD and
my sexuality. I put these.
That's all.
No,
Okay.
it's just one of the other big things.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll do it in a two-parter then, and
Yeah.
So, to find out more about the craziness that I've been dealing with and how to deal with said craziness, please tune in next time.
Any final thoughts for men who are dealing with women that are actually crazy, not just that you think are crazy?
Well, that's the thing. I have one guy. We were telling stories about wives and everything. He's like, "Why don't you just divorce her?" And I'm like, "Well, because I actually love my wife. I'm like, you guys are like." I'm like, y'all don't want to sit here and hear like well, yeah, you only talk about them because nobody wants to talk about the rainbows and sunshine at work. You'll be like, you know what? The other day, me and my wife just started talking, and before we know it was like 2 a.m. We're sitting there with the lights off, just laughing and just joking and enjoying each other's company. You don't want to hear about that.
That's what we do.
Because I was telling
when
him, like,
we have time to be by ourselves.
Yeah. But I literally told the dude, I was like, well, look, my wife's crazy. Like, oh, women are crazy. And that's the first time I was ever, no, you don't understand. She, like, graduated top of her class, you know,
I'm
certified by the state. Like,
I get my disability check.
Yeah, certifiable. I mean, like,
that's facts.
So, but, what was the question? Oh, next one.
Yeah. Any
those last thoughts
for men dealing with?
Oh, yeah, we talked about this drove me crazy. If it's early on in the relationship, it's a tough call to get all the signs out to know what you're dealing with.
Kids are definitely something to think about.
If you're close enough, you can ask about like family history.
It's a big one.
Yeah, that'll let you know there's a couple of red flags there, buddy. Yeah.
Your family knew my family.
Yeah, but your family didn't post their history in the at Little Woodrow's. I mean, like it wasn't we were sitting there talking.
I told you, my dad. We grew up with Pancho Villa and like.
Yeah, but to me, that's just weird choice of like decor.
No.
I mean, like, wow, that's something I wouldn't expect somebody like. Oh, that was his idol.
Yep, and Billy the Kid. Reward
look,
posters.
I actually talked to a guy at work recently, and he was dealing with a girlfriend. It was a little on the, and I was letting him know, like, I understand that. This is what I have come to understand about mine. And to him, it was very like, really, that makes a lot of sense. And all I can say is that if you truly love the person and you truly want to make things work,
fight for it.
Don't fight for it. Don't let emotions if just because it's upsetting you doesn't mean that you can't stop for a second and try to find out what's causing the problem. And I'm not saying you have to stop, but like talk, meet them around. And if you come at them hostile, they're just going to react in the same way. Like, I think this is bullshit, and they're like, oh, do you? I mean, like, it's not going to solve anything. Everything has to be on an open, even keel, and it is just like just conversation. Now, I'm not saying that all crazies can be lived with. All right, there's bad shit out there that's got her beat.
Andrea Gates, stay over there.
Yeah. Like I said,
she won't even let herself
She's never been
out.
violent towards me. So if she was over there like, oh, I don't like yo, I'm like, no. Okay, like we would have had a lot of the no. Would not have worked out the same.
Very dangerous with this thing in my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, there's been. Although
I will slash you with.
Remind me. I'll tell a funny story about that one. But it's just day by day, case by case. I mean, just talk, find out what causes the problem, see what y'all could do about either. Making sure that doesn't happen again, or a better way to handle it the next go round.
And I think it's very important, at least to me, because I'm just now finding myself. You have to be secure in yourself, and he has to be secure in himself. Otherwise, the communication doesn't work. If you don't know who you are, you don't know how you feel, you don't know how to communicate that. And that is something that I still struggle with. So I'm just blessed to be blunt and just say what I feel, and he knows how to decipher.
I've always been blunt myself, though. I mean, not too explicit.
Our kids thought we fought for years.
Yeah, but
we're just sarcastic.
Yeah, just bickering back and forth. And that was another reason why we worked, is because you're not going to find out in therapy after 25 years of marriage. Well, there's just sometimes when you talk to me a certain way, it just makes me. I know, like,
what the fuck? You are not talking to me like that. Like,
That-
it's like, calm your ass down. Or like, like, hey, how does this make me? Like, no, don't wear that. I mean, we're blunt and we're honest with each other, okay? So, I mean, honestly, you got to pull the punches sometimes when it comes to certain situations, but it still doesn't mean we just sweep it under the rug and everything. It's like her hairstyle looks like shit. Yeah, I know, right? You tell her, hell no, I ain't doing like.
No, you better tell me, because I'll go out there looking crazy.
Yes.
It's your fault.
Told you, everything's my fault. So, anyway, day by day, case by case, just listen, pay attention, and just try to talk it out. If you can.
And I'm not going to say just chicks, because anybody dealing with, mental illness that you're not getting treated, I highly recommend going to see somebody, because you're not only going to make whoever your partner's life hell, you're going to do it to yourself as well. Because one thing I can say that I really try not to do anymore, I would call him from the truck and be like, I'm divorcing you. I would push away because I was hurting. And I didn't want anybody to know, and I didn't really know how to get it out. So I had to go to therapy to figure out why I was starting to have these trauma bonds come up. I will tell you, I've had to do a lot of research on it. When you hit 35 years old, certain things are going to start coming back to you, and well into your 40s. So figure your shit out now, because it is hell being 46 years old, still trying to figure out who I am supposed to be. And my kids are already grown, and, I can only hope to continue to be better so I can be a kick-ass gamin. But it doesn't, if I would have been able to be true to myself and be able to communicate better, maybe my kids wouldn't have some of the same trauma bonds that I have. So just try not to repeat those patterns.
And if you're on medication for any certain reason and the medication is working and it has been doing so for months and you feel much better,
take it.
You're not cured.
The chemical
We've
imbalance.
had this conversation before,
fix.
and you can't be like, "Oh, better," and stop.
No, that's when I become more volatile. Give me about 2 or 3 months, and I'll be in jail.
Close.
I've been there, been to boot camp. I'm not scared to do anything, but that's not the way to live life.
No.
When I went, I was surviving, but he has saved my ass plenty of times. Plenty of times. I didn't even know she went home. So, yeah, we'll continue next week.
To be continued, discuss further.
And if you have any questions, of course, leave them here. And
Actually, that'd be great, so that we would know if there's anything specific we need to touch on this topic before we go any further with other episodes and stuff.
Yeah, we have 25 years of experience of everything.
Yeah, it's like work. I didn't go to school for it. I got on-the-job training, a little first-hand experience, hands-on. Anxiety, we'll talk about it later. Anyway, let's fine.
All right, but thank you all. I've seen there's quite a few people in here.
Awesome.
And of course, I posted up on, because this one's over an hour, it's not going to let me repost it on TikTok. So go over to the YouTube channel where we upload all our lives there.
You can do that whole editing thing.
I don't want to do that.
Not my fault. It's his fault.
Low key.
That's not even what the whole shirt says.
What does it say?
It says, low key, I'm not a people person. Or not a people person.
And he's not mental?
Not that you can prove.
Exactly.
Exactly. I win.
I win. We both win. I gotta go eat. Sorry, went a little over, but definitely, I guess I could try to take 15 minutes off. Okay, I'll try to figure it out. But we'll see y'all.